The black woman is a goddess, goddess. They can never ever take my crown. Goddess, goddess.
Hey.
The black woman is a goddess.
Welcome. Turn my music down a little bit for me. Let's see. Okay, that's what's up. Greetings, everyone.
Since the beginning.
Turn my music down for me because today we are going to get straight to it. I welcome you to KEXU 96.1 FM radio, the Crossroads. I am Audrey Candy Corn, also known as Sister Save a Soul. Well, I want you guys to take the opportunity, one moment, to close your eyes because we're going to do a moment of silence for some of the fallen soldiers who have lost their lives here on the Oakland streets. Ashe, Ahu, Aman. And with that being said, we're going to get ready to go to a clipping of oaklandstories.org. My story is actually one of the stories that is on this Snap Judgment. And in a minute, we'll be pulling it up. And I would like you guys to stay tuned, listen, comment, and tell us what you think, and if you think that you can participate in donating to some of these families or these organizations. There will be a tagline or a number or a link at the end of what we're going to show you. Let's see here. Yep, let's hit our stories. We're going to go to, I'm going to turn on over so I can see. Yeah, this is my story, Audrey Candy Corn. Pull it down. Wait, come on, pull it down real quick. Slipping through the cracks of society means, to me, get lost, be forgotten, like that child that is a good student but always get looked over, and that child ends up getting swept underneath the carpet, doing drugs, committing suicide. These types of things happen. So I don't want my children to slip through the cracks of society.
The first thing you need to know about Audrey Candy Corn is that you can't call her Audrey. She hates it. She's a tiny person, barely 5 feet tall and under 100 pounds. But she's a force of nature. You can see her smile from blocks away, and she always greets you with a big hug. She's an Oakland native.
So living here in Oakland, California, it's bittersweet. I love living here. We have so many beautiful people and things and art and gardens and people who are filled with love and high vibration and just willing to give the clothes off their back. Even folks that don't have a place to live that some people would call a bum, but I say less fortunate. Homeless people. You can ask them which way is the freeway. They will tell you. They will stop smoking their crack pipe to tell you.
It's true.
A few years back, Candy Corn was living with her 3 sons in Oakland. Torian, the oldest, Zaire, and Amir, or Ishimi. And while she loves her hometown, Candy Corn knew her boys weren't always safe here. And she wanted to do right by them.
You also get to take the risk of always having gunshots flying over your head.
Candy Corn was especially worried about her oldest son, Torian.
Torian was the type of child who always wanted to help the underdog. I recall one time there was a lady that brought my child to the office at school, Berkeley Maynard. And she says, well, this child is always, I've seen this child like 2 or 3 times in the midst of a fight or argument. And the teacher and the principal had to correct the parent and say, oh, no. This child is Torian Desir Hughes. And you're right. He takes it upon himself to break up the fight. He takes it upon himself to be his brother's keeper.
Torian's need to be peacemaker at school, to get in the middle of fights, to protect his younger brothers. put him at risk. He got bullied a lot at school. So Candy Corn decided to get her boys out of Oakland.
I said, you know, I can't go far, but what I can do is do a little research on the cities that's close to where we are. We didn't want to go to Richmond because that's like Oakland. A lot of killing, you know. I went to Alameda with my children.
Alameda is a small island right next to Oakland. It's directly west of some of the more dangerous neighborhoods in East Oakland. But because there's more people with money there, it's safer.
But it's something about that little island, Alameda. The air is different over there. There's no urine smell, feces smell on the corners. There's nobody hanging out in front of the store in Alameda. So we went over there. We lived there for 2.5 years. It was great. School systems was wonderful. No bullying, no picking on anybody. The boys were free to be who they were. They were getting their education. They were happy. They didn't feel like they were a fish out of water.
Back in Oakland, Candy Corn's boys had started an anti-bullying campaign together. But they were still getting bullied in Alameda.
The boys were thriving and everything was good. But we just had one problem that we didn't face in Oakland, that we faced in Alameda, which was racism. We're driving, we're happy, we're singing our Love Life song. Love life, why don't you jump on it? Love life, we need some more of it. Love life, the angels is laughing. Love life, the devil can't stand it. Ba-doom-ba-doom-doom-doom. Ba-doom-ba-doom-doom. So we're singing this. Amir made this song up because, again, we're just trying to, we don't want to just exist. We want to live life. And so while we're doing this, and I'm taking the kids to the summer school program, we get ran off the road by this Caucasian man in a burgundy Jeep. Calls me a nigga and calls me a bitch. I guess he's thinking that we're singing rap tunes or something. But we're singing a love life universal, mankind, high vibration for everybody. And I had to explain that to my children, you know, that I don't know, kids, if we're going to be living here much longer. Because I, at that point, just felt so disempowered because here it is, trying to do the best that I can with keeping my children alive, preserving their life, trying to raise them to be law-abiding citizens so they don't slip through the cracks of society. I picked this place. It's perfect. It's nothing like where we came from. But this racism that we haven't experienced, we don't know nothing about this like this.
Candy Corn brought her sons back to Oakland. And then one night, just a few months after they'd moved back, Torian went over to her friend's house in West Oakland and called late for his mom to give him a ride home.
I went to where he was. I didn't know exactly the house, but I knew the area. When I went there, I waited, I called, he wasn't answering the phone. Now I'm getting upset. I told this boy don't do this. His little brother Ishimi is starting to have an asthma attack. I'm running out of gas. I got the car running because you can't afford not to have your car running in this area. You need to be able to get away, especially if people don't recognize your car too. So I went to go get some gas, and then I came back, and I was saying to Torian's voicemail, boy, I was upset, and I was speaking how a mama would, and I started cursing. In my spirit, something said, don't leave that voicemail. Don't leave that. So I erased it, and I did another one. That one I was satisfied with. It's like, Torian, goddamn it, I don't know where you at, son. No, I do know where you at, because you told me. But I'm here, and I'm trying to pick you up, and I really need you to answer the phone. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, because I had waited a whole hour for him. I told Amir and Ishimi, I'm sorry I have you guys out here in the cold, but we can't just leave Torian out here, because if it was you, I would do the same. I said, so I don't want to torture you guys. We're going to stay out here a little longer, then we're going to go. Now, Ishimi is coughing, where I'm panicking. He need his medicine. I got to make a decision. So I left Torian behind. And I went home. I fell asleep. When I woke up, I got a phone call. I was woken up by a phone call by my son's friend, whose house he spent the night.
The boy told Candy Corn that Torian had been shot.
So I tell you, the brothers, come on, Torian done been shot. Amir says, he been shot, my brother been shot. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Ishimi is running in circles, He just running in circles. He can't even grab his clothes, his coat, and he just running in circles, not saying nothing. I said, come on. We get in the car, trying to call 911. My phone is frozen. It's on stuck. It will not call. So then I just start pressing any button. Facebook account pop up. So I press talk. So a message goes out. Torian's been shot. Help me, somebody, anybody, call the police. Torian's been shot. I get in the car. I go to where Torian is at, which is off of 8th or 9th and Mandela in West Oakland. I take my card out, which is my identification, and I run to them and I tell myself, don't be disgruntled or don't be too panicky, because they won't let you see your son. So I ran up with my ID and I said, my name is Audrey Candy Corn. I am the mother of the young man that's been shot, Torian. Can you please take me to my son? They wouldn't. They was treating me like I was a disrespectful ghetto broad. He's coming out on the gurney. He's alive. I see him. I see his face. I say, Torian, I made it. I made it, son. I'm here. Mommy's here. I see you. And I love you. I never said you're going to be okay, though. So I see him. He sees me. I can hear his thoughts. He looks at me. He gives me a smile, a crooked one, and he looks directly over at his brothers. And a tear goes down his face. So he went in the ambulance, and I didn't get in with him. And I don't understand why I didn't. But I didn't. I got in my car and tried to go in my car and follow, but then the car stopped on me. So then I had to get out of the car and start it back up while I'm watching the ambulance drive away.
Candy Corn, Zaire, and Ishimi have continued their anti-bullying campaigns in schools all around Oakland. And they've found different ways to memorialize Torian. Last year, the city of San Francisco called Candy Corn and told her that on one of the cables on the Bay Bridge, there was a light. And they dedicated that light to Torian.
So every time we cross the bridge, and sometimes we just go just to cross it, and then we scream, "Saw Torian, saw Torian, saw Torian, saw." So we do that. And that's it. So
I am Audrey Candy Corn, Sister Save a Soul. Thank you for staying tuned on KEXU 96.1. Catch you later. You can never ever take my crown. I was born to do this. Hey,
Since the beginning.